feud ng Team TGIS ng 200,000 pesos.
Upload ni Mapads bukas tuwing araw ng Sabado. Family Feud.
5:40 p.m.
Welcome to my episode that is called
Nagmamano pa.
That's okay.
Today, Trump and Putin are set for face-to-face talks in Alaska. Eric Prince plans to keep personnel in Haiti for 10 years to fight gangs and collect taxes. Hotter than expected wholesale prices hit markets, and an Israeli far-right minister announces a plan to bury the idea of a Palestinian state. It's Friday, August 15th. This is Reuters World News, bringing you everything you need to know from the front lines in 10 minutes, 7 days a week. I'm Tara Oakes in London.
Tara Oaks in London.
US President Donald Trump is set to meet his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin in Alaska later today. The meeting at a Cold War-era Air Force base will be their first face-to-face talks since Trump returned to the White House.
And if it's a bad meeting, it'll end very quickly. And if it's a good meeting, we're going to end up getting peace in the pretty near future, okay?
White House correspondent Steve Holland is traveling to Anchorage for the historic meetup.
The world is waiting to see which Trump will show up at this meeting. Will it be the Trump who was very ingratiating toward Putin during his first term and early in this second term took some pro-Russian stances, drew a hard line against President Zelensky of Ukraine? Or will it be the Trump we've seen in the last couple of months who seems
border tariffs, but as this gang issue has accelerated, they haven't been able to do that anymore. So it would be a question of trying to reestablish this revenue stream to fund the government and essential services in Haiti. And most likely this would also go to pay Vectis.
California's Governor Gavin Newsom says he will ask voters to approve a temporary strategy in November, redrawing the state's congressional map. The move is likely to create 5 more Democratic seats. It's an escalation in the redistricting war to counter what they see as a Republican power grab in Texas. US producer prices increased more than expected in July amid a surge in the costs of services and goods. The producer price index for final demand jumped 0.9%. It's likely to bolster concerns among Federal Reserve policymakers that rising inflation remains a risk and could intensify debate over the rationale for an interest rate cut next month.
Wolf kill a spider.
Israel's far-right finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich, announcing that work will start on the long-delayed E1 settlement plan. It would divide the West Bank and cut it off from East Jerusalem. Smotrich says the settlement plan definitively buries the idea of a Palestinian state, simply because there is nothing to recognize and no one to recognize. Alexander Cornwell is a Reuters senior correspondent based in Jerusalem. So Alexander, let's take a step back here. What's the current state of settlers in the West Bank?
So today there's about 700,000 settlers living in the West Bank among around 2.7 million Palestinians. For economic reasons, there can be government incentives to live in settlements.
So how would these settlement plans change the West Bank's links to East Jerusalem?
So the Finance Minister's announcement for the E1 project sits between an existing settlement in the West Bank close to Jerusalem and towards Jerusalem or East Jerusalem area. And what Palestinians and Israeli rights groups say is that will divide the West Bank and will also cut off the Palestinians from East Jerusalem. Now, it's worth mentioning that for a long time now, the Israelis have had what they call a security wall or a security barrier, the wall that many people know that separates much of the West Bank from Jerusalem and from areas of Israel. So Palestinians are already cut off from East Jerusalem. So although this will cut Palestinians, I guess, geographically from East Jerusalem, if the project does indeed go ahead, today there are many barriers and restrictions on them anyway, moving between the West Bank and Jerusalem.
Smotrich says Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and US President Trump have agreed to the revival of the E1 development, though there was no immediate confirmation from either. The Trump administration is discussing capping refugee admissions at around 40,000 for the coming year, with the majority allocated to white South Africans. That's according to 2 US officials briefed on the matter and an internal refugee program email. It would reflect a major shift. Afrikaners, a largely Dutch-descended minority in South Africa. Ted Hessen has the story. Ted, why is the administration prioritizing these applicants?
The reason he said this group should be prioritized is because he said they face race-based persecution in South Africa. Now, I should say that's a claim that the South African government has pushed back very hard against and says that it's not true, but the Trump administration says that there is some evidence of it, and they've undertaken this effort to bring people into the U.S. as refugees who are Afrikaners. It would really be an unprecedented twist and turn in the refugee program to have such an outsized focus on one group, and truthfully, what refugees who are white coming from a country that's majority black in the world. And it really would turn the dynamics of the program on its head from what it's been so far.
Costco Wholesale says it's decided to not sell abortion pill mifepristone across all its US pharmacy stores, citing low demand. The decision comes amid campaigns against the pill by religious activist groups. Humanoid Robot Games has opened in China, aimed at highlighting progress in artificial intelligence and robotics. You can find out more and see pictures of the robotic contenders by following the link in the pod description. And tomorrow, check out our latest episode of our new On Assignment long-form podcast. It's also all about AI. For more on any of the stories from today, check out Reuters.com or the Reuters app. Don't forget to follow us on your favourite podcast player. And if you're listening on a smart speaker, just ask for the latest news from Reuters, 7 days a week. We'll be back tomorrow with our daily headline show.
That's it for your news updates. To see more stories, open Google News.